If you're applying for the Australian partner visa or even just thinking about it, then this video could save you thousands of dollars or even a visa refusal. The partner visa is one of the most expensive and lengthy visas you can apply for in Australia, so we don't want you to make any mistakes that's going to avoid you from getting it approved. Watch to the end because one of the most common reasons people get their partner visas refused is not what you think. My name's Annie and I've been in Australia for 15 years. I'm married to my beautiful Australian husband called Steve, and I too have been through the partner visa as well.
I do exist. It's true. I am here and very much Aussie as last time I checked I was anywhere.
Know that I am obviously not a migration agent. I'm just someone sharing exactly what I've been through and helping other people this completely painful process. I'm going to link below a lot of articles that I've written all about the partner visa to help you, because when I applied, I couldn't really find any information out there. I now have citizenship, so I am very much a proud Australian, and I'm so glad I just stuck everything out so I could get to this point. Just a quick overview about what the Australian partner visa is. You technically have to be with an Australian for at least a year and show evidence, essentially, to convince a stranger who's going to approve your application that you are in a genuine and committed relationship. There are two different variations of this visa. There's the 820, which is basically the onshore visa. So that is the onshore partner visa. This means you can apply for it while you're in the country. The offshore visa, which is the 309, which is basically where you apply for the visa in your home country. This leads me to point number one, which is the timeframes of how long it takes to get your visa approved. Now, if you are in a relationship where you're spending time apart and you want to be together, so say, for example, you're in your home country and your Australian partner is back in Australia, come to Australia and apply from here, which is exactly what I did. Somehow worked out that if I came into Australia on a tourist visa, and in that time I got all my visa documentation together for the application and then applied. I then went on to a bridging visa, which then meant I could work as any other Australian. Eventually, I then got the partner visa after a year or so waiting. Timelines do vary, though. It could be shorter, it could be longer now. Nobody can really tell you how long it's going to take. If you do apply from back home, though, you will have to wait in your own country until it gets approved. So you could be waiting a year or two sitting in your home country while you're waiting for that to be approved to move to Australia. Number two is the eligibility criteria mistakes that many people do make when they're applying for the Australian partner visa. The first part is the relationship requirements. This is where you do generally have to convince a complete stranger that you are in a genuine relationship. Now, if like us, you have been traveling, like we were traveling for quite a lot of time before we applied for the visas. So we didn't have any joint bills or anything like that to show that we were in a genuine relationship. We didn't even have a lease. We were staying with Steve's mum at the time. So how we did it is we got her to write a statement to say that we were staying with her and we were paying for bills and stuff. The next part of this is the health and character requirements. It can be quite painful. You have to get medical and police checks done in every country you've lived in since you were 16. Yes, I know it can take time, so you want to get onto that as soon as possible. The other part is the financial requirements. You actually have to show that you are financially dependent and that you can support yourself while in Australia. What we did is we set up a joint account together to be able to show that we are putting our finances together. Number three is basic errors in the documents. So say, for example, you haven't had them JP, you've made errors in your documents that don't add up to other documents. Say you're saying that you're living at a certain address, but yet you've put down that you're living in a different address. Like inconsistencies like that are going to get spotted, whether you think they will or won't, and that's what's going to make you get refused. Mistake number four is financial proof pitfalls. Now, what that means is not just show the approver that you're just in love and that's it. You need to show them that you are financially together and that you are sharing finances in a way. So say, for example, you're saying that you're sharing bills or you're sharing rent or anything that you can prove, such as bank statements or anything like that. Mistake number five, proving that you're actually in a genuine relationship. There's 4 pillars with the Australian partner visa. You've got the financial aspects, you've got the nature of the household, you've got the social aspects, and you've got the nature of commitment as well. These are the main pillars you're going to need to fill out when you're applying for the partner visa. Is most people get carried away with one or two of the sections, such as including loads and loads of photos of themselves, but yet not really sharing much information about what the finance side looks like. You need to make sure that you're providing enough evidence for each pillar. And be careful, because the department does check social media presence. So if you're uploading pictures of you of a different man or a different woman, they might be kind of scratching their heads going, well, why are they suddenly showing pictures of this other person for? Where's their partner where they're supposedly in love and applying for this visa? Mistake number 6 is missing the visa deadlines. If you've applied, you might actually get asked to supply more documents or something like that. And if you miss those deadlines, you could get refused. This actually happened to me the first time I applied for citizenship. I've actually applied twice. The first time I applied, I was out of the country for a month, longer than I should have been. And my citizenship got refused, which basically meant that I had to then start my citizenship from the beginning again, which I'll talk about in another video, but it was very, very upsetting and a very painful process. So don't make that mistake. Make sure you stick to timelines as much as possible. Mistake number 7 is ignoring immigration changes and updates. The Australian government is quite notorious for changing visas all the time, which is exactly what happened when I applied for my citizenship. We were literally about to go away for a year of travel, and a few weeks before we left, they had changed the citizenship where I was then eligible to apply. I thought I wasn't going to be able to apply for at least another year, but it turned out they made the changes and I could apply. But stupidly, I was out of the country for a month too long, and that got refused. So always keep an update on the government website for those changes, and just don't be thinking once you've applied, then that's it, you don't need to do anything else. Just always keep an eye on it. Mistake number 8, which I'm sure you've all been waiting for, which is the number one mistake so many people make without thinking that they need to do this. And this is the main thing you need to do, is get a migration agent. Now, I know the visa already is hugely expensive. When I applied, I think I ended up spending about 10 grand on it altogether. I think it's now pushing on 10 grand just to apply for the visa. While you will have to spend a little bit extra money with a migration agent, this is where they come in. They will be able to help you with all those sort of small errors that you might miss, or the visa updates that you'll need to know about, any other additional information that will be needed. They will be the people who will make sure that you stay on top of applying for this visa. It is so important, because if you have to go for a process like I did with the citizenship, where I ended up getting that refused, and I basically had to then come back to Australia and wait another 4 years to get citizenship. It took me 10 years in total to get it in the end. And it doesn't need to take you that long. And that was because I did it myself at the time. Now I know about True Blue Migration. If I'd known about them before, I 100% would have used them. We have actually met with them in their offices. They are really, really nice people. And you've also got like a lot of Brits working there as well, who've actually been through the visa processes themselves. So they totally understand where you're coming from. You can get a free visa assessment with them. So just mention London and Sydney, and I'll link below their email contact details, so you can get in contact with them for free, and they will get back to you and let you know where you stand as well. And if you're wondering if it's worth it that it took me 10 years to actually get my Australian citizenship, it absolutely is, without a doubt. I feel much more Australian now than English, which is really strange, but that's how I feel. And I wouldn't ever, ever take back all the pain I went through applying for those visas. So I 100% highly recommend you go for it. If you are serious about applying for the partner visa, read all the articles below that I have written all about everything you need to know about the partner visa. Get in touch with True Blue Migration Services, who will be keen to help you guys. And most importantly, do not rush the application. It is all completely precise. There's no inconsistencies, and you are all good to go. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I will be back for much more visa content to help you on your journey for moving to Australia. See you soon. Bye.